Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. There are some secrets that I want to share with you, some confessions that I received. The first one, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I really do not know if I am supposed to share this confession with my friend to tell him that the reason as to why he is HIV positive, it is because of me, and I am the one who led him into that trap, and I pretended as if I was a very good friend of his, but yet I hated him quite a lot. And I knew that the woman that he was going to sleep with, this lady, she was already HIV positive, but even though I had that information, I did not tell him anything. So I really do not know if it is a confession that you can share with the person that you did hurt, or you can just go to the grave with such a dark confession. So if there are people that are willing to assist me, they can give me advice in the comment section. This is what happened. When I arrived in South Africa, I met this other man. He also came from the same villages where I come from. Then that was when we partnered up and we said that we wanted to start our own small garden cleaning services company. So we would go around with our lawnmower, our rakes, and we would be busy looking for piece jobs. So there was this other very beautiful woman. This woman, she had her own house. She was single, even though her husband used to visit her quite a lot. So this lady, she was so attractive. One day I went there, I was alone, and this woman, I could see that she wanted me to sleep with her. I followed her into her house, and when we were kissing and touching, we were getting ready to sleep with each other, and we were going to sleep with each other without using any protection at all. And I did not care because of the way that this lady was too beautiful. So then that was when we heard that there were people that were talking outside. She then said, we will do it another time, for it was her husband who had brought back the kids. So I then left her house, but I used the back door and I pretended as if I was carrying on with the work that I was doing. So after I had left the house, that was when the maid came to me and she was like, you have the nerves, ne? I know what you were trying to do with the madam. And I said, so you saw us? And she said, I know that this is what she does. And she was like, you are someone that is kind-hearted. Let me just tell you, this lady, it's not like you are the first person that she has seduced, and she likes doing this to men that do come from Zim. She will sleep with them without using any protection. Let me tell you something that you do not know. You and your friend, you think that you are the first people that are from Zim to do some piece jobs for this lady. She has a lot of men that has worked for her, and each and everyone that worked for her as a gardener ended up getting sick, because this lady, she is sick also. She is a carrier. She has slept with men, and those men, they have passed away. She is HIV positive. And I said, you are lying. You're just jealous that this woman, with the way that she is beautiful, she is in love with me. She then said, okay, hold on. She then went back indoors, and then that was when she returned back with the pills, and she said, do you know these pills? And I said, no. And she was like, these are ARVs, and she showed me the proof. So Brother Nashi, after this, then that was when I said, but I want to fix my friend. I want him to be HIV positive. And one day when we were at work, I was like, can you see the way that the madam is dressed? This woman is so beautiful. I'm sure that she's in love with you and she really wants you. Look at the way that she is looking at you. So my friend, one day he was at work alone and was seduced by the madam boss, and they slept together. He told me, and I encouraged him to keep on sleeping with the madam. And I knew that him, by doing that, eventually he was going to get infected. I did this because I just wanted him to suffer. This man, Brother Nashi, there was a time when he got so sick, everyone thought that he was going to die because of the way that he was so sick. So I don't know, do you advise me to tell this man that the woman that infected him was our boss lady, and I was supposed to have slept with him, but it's only that God felt sorry for me and I did not sleep with that woman. I was just lucky that her ex-husband came and I just wanted to punish my best friend. Why I wanted to punish him, I really do not know. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our brother. Let us try to speak with him in the comment section. Then there is another message that was sent to me as well. So this message, it comes from this other sister of ours who is in Ireland. The message reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a Zimbabwean woman who got an opportunity to come to Europe. And when I came to Europe, I knew what I wanted to do. I pretended as if I was still in love with my husband. I pretended as if he was my everything. But after him sleeping with my sister, I could never forgive him. Even right now, I will never forgive my husband for the things that he did to me. I want him to suffer. I want him to die. And I want him to commit suicide even. And I'm going to be happy after he would have died. So what happened, Brother Nashi, was that when we were still in South Africa, I was working. My husband was working as well. I started suspecting that my husband was sleeping with another woman after I had seen a message, and then that person deleted the message. So the message was like, have you finished effing your wife? And then that was when that message was deleted by the person that had sent the message. The numbers were not saved. I then called my husband and I said, this person just texted you, and on the text message it was written like, have you finished effing your wife? And who is this person? My husband then said that it was a wrong number, and I said, it is not possible. He thought that maybe I was a fool who could just believe everything. My husband told me that it was a wrong number. I was like, oh, so now WhatsApp has wrong numbers, but it is impossible that for a person to save your number not knowing you, then text you. It is quite impossible. But my husband said that it was a mistake, this and that. So then that was when I said, let me remain calm so that I can catch him red-handed. I never thought or suspected that my husband was going to be sleeping with my big sister, because in our culture, my big sister is like my mother. Therefore, if my husband sleeps with my big sister, it is the same thing like he has slept with my own mother. So it is very painful what my husband did to me. Me and my sister, we are now enemies. I destroyed her marriage after I found out, because I was so bitter and heartbroken. She hates me and I also hate her the same way. And I don't think that we are going to be close ever again like the way that we used to be close, all thanks to my husband. So I knew that my husband was dating another woman, but I did not know how I was going to catch my husband red-handed. So one day when I was at work, that was when I just had an idea. I then said, if my husband is cheating, it's obvious that if he goes to a lodge with a woman, he's not going to be using our car. Maybe he will use Uber or Bolt. So I then returned back home. I took this other SIM card the next day. Then that was when I installed the old Bolt that we were using before we had bought new phones. So the moment that I installed that Bolt in my phone, to my surprise, there were even recent trips that my husband had taken. So in the morning, when I would think that my husband is headed to work, he will park the car somewhere else, get on the Bolt, he would go and he would sleep with my sister at this other lodge in Midrand. He was quite a regular at that lodge. And in the afternoon at lunch, when I would be thinking that my husband is at work, he would drive back to that lodge, meet up with my sister, they will sleep with each other. Sometimes even in the evening, soon after knocking off, when he would have told me that they are still busy at work, my husband will be in Midrand, busy sleeping with my sister at that lodge. So when I realized that this was what was going on, I kept everything. I kept the messages. And then that was when I went to my sister's place. I went to my sister's place and I was busy investigating. Then that was when I took her phone. So my sister, she did not even know that now I suspected that she was the one that was sleeping with my husband. I said, sister, there is something that I need from your phone. Can you just give me your phone so that I can send the things that I want from your gallery into my phone? So my sister thought that she was clever. The moment that I opened up her phone and I looked at the menu. When I saw 2 calculators, I knew that I had caught the thief that I had been looking for. There is no one who will have 2 calculators in their phone. What for? The person that has 2 calculators in their phone is busy cheating or trying to hide some things on you. So I knew about this little calculator app that pretends as if it is just a calculator, and if you do not think much about it, you just think that maybe it is a calculator. But I knew, and then that was when I opened that calculator app that hides photos, files, including other applications. When I opened it up, then it wanted a password. I tried everything. I tried my sister's birthday, her children's birthday, her husband's birthday, all of them. I tried them, but they were not working. I said, okay, that is fair enough. That was when I went to the settings. I tried to search for WhatsApp, because when I was scrolling through my phone, I knew that my sister had WhatsApp. We had been speaking on WhatsApp almost every day. We had been talking on WhatsApp. But when I was scrolling through the phone, I did not even see anything, any WhatsApp. And I knew that she was hiding that WhatsApp in that calculator app. Then that was when I had an idea. I went straight to the Play Store. Since I could not see the WhatsApp in the settings menu, I went to the Play Store and I searched for WhatsApp as if I wanted to update the app. Then that was when it appeared. It was already fully updated. It only had an open button. And then that was when I opened up the WhatsApp, and wow, there the chat was. I opened up my husband's chat and I saw that my sister would send her private part and my husband will send the pictures of his manhood. They will be doing this each and every day, telling each other that they love each other, they deserve each other. I quickly did some screenshots and I forwarded all the messages to my phone, and then that was when I just deleted the messages that I had forwarded to myself, pretended as if I was still sending some stuff into my phone. My sister did not even suspect a thing. She thought that she was clever, she was outsmarting me. Later on, that was when I started speaking with this other guy who used to be my husband's friend. I am dating him, not because like I am that much in love with him, but I just want to hurt my husband. I want to get married to this guy and I want to bring him over to Europe so that my husband can just feel the pain. And I am going to do that no matter what. This guy, I am going to upgrade him, not because I want anything from him. I just want him to enjoy life. I want him here with me in Europe because he is my husband's enemy. So when I spoke with this guy, he did not even believe me. He thought that my husband was the one that had sent me to him. I opened up to him and I told him that my husband had been cheating on me and I had a revenge that I was planning, and I wanted him to be my friend because there were times when I will be feeling so lonely. So then this guy, he agreed. We started dating. I then came to Europe, and my husband, if he was someone that was suspicious, he could have stopped me from selling the properties that we owned. We had cars in South Africa as well as back home. We had a house that we had bought, we had built. I made sure that we sold everything. I told my husband that we had no future anymore in Africa. The reason as to why I told him that we had no future anymore in Africa, it was because I want him to start from the ground up. I want to hurt him that much, so much that he will return back to poverty and start to think about the life that I am having right now in Europe. So then that was when one day I waited until everyone was fast asleep and I just sent all the nude pictures that my sister was sending to my husband and the nude pictures that my husband was sending to him in the family group on WhatsApp. And my husband was in there, my relative, all of my relative, my brothers, my cousin brothers, my sisters, my cousin sisters, including my big sister who was sleeping with my husband. Her husband was in there as well. I waited until I saw that people are fast asleep right now in Africa, and then that was when I sent everything, all the bold receipts that I got from the email, all the pictures that I got, I just sent everything in there. In the morning, people woke up and saw that this is what I had sent and this was what had been happening. My sister's husband just left the chat, and just like that, that is how her marriage was destroyed. So this is the revenge that I planned, and this is what I did. When you post my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister. Let us try to speak with our sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Then there is another message that was sent to me by one of our admin who helped us with this message, and the message, it reads like this. Hello, Brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I am a woman and I am a Venda-speaking woman. I am staying here in Johannesburg. I got married to my husband who comes from Zim. So my husband, when I met him, like the guy was so poor, so was I, but I already had a job here in Johannesburg. So I just want to tell you about the rituals that my husband did and how I also convinced him to do these rituals, because I just wanted to enjoy something that is nice in life. I had never enjoyed anything in life. So I met my husband when he was on his way returning from his country. So we were in the same taxi and he did not even have a passport. We were stopped by these other police officers just past my talks, and they came to the taxi, and when they started asking everyone if they were South African, they asked him and he did not respond. I just said, he's my husband, just do not bother him, please. We have 2 kids together. And then they left us. The taxi drove with us until we came to Joburg, and then we started talking. We exchanged phone numbers. He told me that he was working and he wanted me, and I did not want him. With the way that the guy was broke, we met in town. This guy, he went with me to Diponias. He bought that smaller nyana pizza, and he said that this was like a date, and I was like, no, this one is not the one. I did not want to embarrass him, but I was even embarrassed to be with him. With the way that he was wearing clothes of many colors, it was just too much. After that date, that was when I blocked him, but I unblocked him after my boyfriend had dumped me. The guy that I was dating, he was working, he had a nice job, and he was staying at a company house. He used to date too many women. And then when I was speaking with this other friend of mine, I just wanted to hear her own opinion. She was like, I have decided that it is better to date a guy that does not have money, not like a guy that is unemployed. No, I just want a guy that at least loves me, does not have money, no more stress about someone that have their money. They cheat on you and you know that they are cheating, but you stay with them because they take care of you. Then I thought about my guy and I unblocked him. We started dating again. So when we started dating, I was not satisfied. I would ask him for money and he would tell me that he does not have money. Until I said, but you do come from Zim. Are there no other ways for us to become rich, to be the municipes of our country? And he was like, yes, there are ways that we can become rich. And he had been thinking about it. He told me that from the village where he comes from, there are some guys that went to dig up for gold, and when they came back, they had so much money, they bought trucks and they bought buses. But these guys, the way that they all died at the same time in an accident, and people were saying that it was because of the rituals that they did. They were helped by another man from their village. I encouraged him every day. I'll be like, please, can you just speak with that old man? He then told me that the man did not have a phone. I still remember that I was the one that sacrificed my money, and we went and we bought a small Vivo phone, those little ones, and we went and we gave it to the bus driver, and they sent that phone back to his country, and he started talking with that old man. He would tell us what to do, and I started to notice that life was becoming better. When I saw that life was becoming better, we went to this other supermarket. When we went there, my brother, that was when I realized that Zim Juju is very strong. We only had like 120 that we wanted to use to buy some cooking oil. And then he told me that he had received a message on WhatsApp, and I was like, from whom? And he told me from the traditional healer. And I said, what is he saying? And he told me that the healer had said that we had to trust in him. And I said, trust him like what? And he said that we were supposed to fill up the trolley. We filled up the trolley, and he said, go and get another one. I then filled up another trolley. We went to the till. Mind you, this was like a lot of groceries that we now had, and we only had like 120. I was like, are you going to embarrass me? Because we don't have money. You don't have money, and I don't have money. And he was like, let us just trust him. He knows that we are in this shop, and this means that he is with us. We went to the till. Later on, after we had left that mall, that was when he told me that he was scared to tell me because maybe I was going to faint. But that old man was in front of us. He was the one that was walking in front of us. Even when we were in line going to the till to pay, that old man was the one that was in front. And after the cashier, he had sorted out everything, the old man had some leaves, and he started counting those leaves and gave it to the cashier. And she thought that we had paid, and then that was when we were given a receipt and we left that shop. I was even shocked because when we were walking towards the till, like I was so scared. I was like, this guy is trying to get me arrested. They are going to say that we were trying to steal all of these groceries. This is so embarrassing. What is going to happen? We waited in line, and he kept on telling me to trust the old man, to trust him. When we finally got to the till, like my hands were so shaking, and I thought that maybe something bad was going to happen. But to my surprise, the receipt came out. We did not even pay anything. We were told that we were supposed to keep that money. If we wanted to go shopping, we would go with that money, and you will be holding the money, and we'll just go out of that shop with our receipt. I don't know how it really happened, but it was happening like that until I fell pregnant. When I fell pregnant, that was when we were told to go to Zim. We traveled to Zim and we went to his village. I was told that unfortunately I was going to give birth to a child that was going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. And I was like, okay, does it mean like this is it something that is natural? And then he translated for me and he told me that the traditional healer had said that no, it was not natural, but our child was our sacrifice. I cried. I had never cried like that, knowing that the child that was growing inside of me was going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of her life, was never going to be able to walk. We returned back to South Africa. We were encouraged to start a small company, and we did as we had been instructed to do. To this very day, me and my husband, at least we have something in life. We are not broke, far from being broke, and we can afford the life that we are living. But my daughter, the way that she is crippled, it hurts me a lot, and I am the reason as to why my daughter is crippled, me and my husband. But my husband, he tells me that it is something that I have to live with, and it is okay that we sacrificed our daughter, because the other two boys that I already had when I met my husband, we can now take care of them. And one of them, he says that he wants to be a pilot, and my husband was saying that we are going to be sending him to Qatar so that he can learn there. And my husband, he does not care about having kids. He said that he's okay. I wanted to give him another child, and he said no, one crippled child is fine. So that is what me and my husband did. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our admin who helped us with this message. strange things indeed they do happen in this world.